My name's Katherine Smith, and I'm going to read a poem called The Fathers. All over the city, women in restaurants, cafes, bars, wait for their fathers. The women sip coffee or wine, pretend to read. Some fathers arrive promptly, smiling, dressed as policemen or in flannel pyjamas. Sometimes the father is a priest in a cassock stained with candle wax. One or two have pockets gritty with sand from Cornish holidays. One father flourishes a fledgling sparrow, damp and frightened, from an ironed handkerchief. One wears a taffeta dress, fishnets and stilettos, rubs the stubble under his makeup. They bring spaniels, Shetland ponies, anacondas. They bring yellowed photographs whose edges curl like wilting cabbages. One father has blue ghosts of numbers inked on his wrist. There are times the fathers have been dead or absent for so long, the women hardly recognise them. Some talk rapidly in Polish or Greek, and the women shift on their chairs. A few sign cheques, others blag a tenner. One smells of wood shavings and presents the woman with a doll's house. They might tell the women, "You're getting fat," or "Put some meat on your bones, girl." Some women leave arm in arm with their fathers, huddled against the cold air, and windows shop for turquoise sequin slippers, or angelfish hanging like jewels in bright tanks. Others part with a kiss that misses a cheek, lint left on coats, and buttons done up wrong.
The Panther. Frayed now, tongue-worn, the legend tells that my parents, young and expecting me, walked beneath drizzle, nests, blood sprays of berries, breath clouds mushrooming as they plotted their future, when the woods convulsed with a pitiless roar, and thickets shook with the rage of a dark engine, of dragons, of demons, of hunger-made meat. They ran all the way back to their bungalow. A week later, she heard the growl on radio. "If you hear this sound, beware. It is a panther about to attack." As a small girl, I pored over theories, big cats as escapees from menageries, Victorian travelling circuses, prehistory, death. I found a picture, melanistic leopard, the eye like a chalk pit or toad spawn, teeth the sour colour of lamb's wool in the jaw. And at dusk, I sensed them out there, the beasts of Bolton Bodmin, the fen tiger nuzzling a deer's bowels, careful as burglars. In this city, now, I had forgotten them. In the scuffle of commonplace violence, the friend beaten for a bike, his eye popped out like a tiny moon. The needle-tracked crack whores smearing dung on our stairwell, the lean dark men in hoods who may have guns. But tonight, as I swallowed some small rejection, I found myself willing it true, longing caught in my throat for a panther's leap into view, like the opposite of disappointment.
Poem in black ink. Looked up poetry in the yellow pages and it just dripped. Put me through to Melvin Bragg's office, which connected to this. A childish chant. Get your DNA out for the labs. The staff in the cost cutter taped the note back together. It was accepted, despite the Queen's hair boofed into a hedge. As Johnny Cash got older, he started to look like a bronchial oval dressed all in black. The card arrived. You both make such a lovely couple in the marriage blend of semiotics and witchcraft. Be happy. The Thames swirled and crashed against the steps like a drunk creeping up to bed. Leaves dumped and drowned and submerged, amethysts in mist as we kissed. There are no ropes in the twigs of a hedge, and fighting is controlling the body politic, now that people can see far back from their eyes to be aware of the lights on cars. The under-25s raise their voice to integrity, Australian question intonation when you ask what they do for a job. So when it all kicks off on the bus, you're just a child again. A figure positioned in a red corgi, a battered face in the street on a Saturday night, scrunched and crushed into a Scotch bonnet. The icicles start to melt with the satellite as the London signal reconnects. All was quick around us that night, but we have since forgotten and lapsed like days of endless breakfast radio. Laptops on thighs negating their sex, lambs in latex on the abattoir ride. Try the Penelope sophistry of this aphorism. She said that she would only remarry if they came to reinvent the rag and bone man. As chestnuts button up September's street, keep two in the palm for stress relief.
I'm going to read you most of a poem called Burning the Door, and it's about preparing to move house by putting an old front door on the bonfire. First match to a twist of paper makes smoke roll like wood shavings. A single black-footed flame climbs limber round the twig joints. It tumbles upwards, bird-like, through the bush, to dither at the open top. The brushwood is clasped on one dancing spot, dissolved in a fierceness. A pockmark of heat works up under the paint. Flames bite a hole quick alive, which breathes itself wider, and smoke bounds through as the door is opened from its own centre by the fire. Fire unpeels things like an orange, but goes on opening them, long past the skin, thumbing them round and round in a falling away, fraying things out and down to nothing. Later that evening, how little ash a big door is become, dull drift mat of silver, hot dust with red feelers, many tiny sunsets moving. The ashes stir like breathed on down, and the last blown spot of heat crawls round like a baby's wandering edge of consciousness. Burnt right through and untouchably soft, wood still holds its grain pattern of growth, the way newsprint shows on a blackened page, or a single word can skewer her life like a red name shot lengthways in a stick of rock. Frame and form withdrawn now, this door has walked away, right through itself. One hinge is fallen open like a wing, one hinge has fallen very softly closed.
This poem is about getting a bus from my house in Stoke Newton. It's a 67 bus and it's going down to reggae night through Dalston and into Shoreditch. It's called Come and Dance. In its Dalston dusk, the lights in the chicken shops, minicab offices and Polski Producti and all the bling crammed on a bus have dazzled the stars. The sky is a dark street replete with the stains of an East London Saturday night. That stop near the bottom of the waist, a girl dressed as a flapper, dress cut from twilight boards. The feather and her hair punches hard times smack on the nose. The blokes in a pony suit and dread trainers. And miss with the big fringe, you're looking a bit worried that a bloke's dressed as an horse. I don't mean that. I mean pony as in a cockney for crap. But it's Shoreditch and it's worthy of note. He carries a white fedora. Not even enough snap to sport it, a distinct lack of effort. I hope tonight she ends up with someone else. It's the dark that makes the stars shine. At the next stop for a dancehall queen, them fresh from the yard and each wearing less than she that proceeds, and oh my days. So much good time squeezed into so small space. When the bass drops, Lord God Almighty.